ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरम् गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। So for those who are new, the last shloka we chanted is the Mangalacharanam written by Adi Shankaracharya, which is the first shloka of the Vivekachoodamani. Okay, we will chant from number 31. Avyakta namni paramesha shakti, or 110 in the unabridged. Avyakta namni paramesha shakti,
अव्यक्तनाम्नी परमेशशक्तिः
अनाद्य विद्या त्रिगुणात्मिका परा,
अनाद्यविद्या त्रिगुणात्मिका परा
कार्यानुमेया सुधियैव माया,
कार्यानुमेया सुधियैव माया
यया जगत् सर्वमिदं प्रसूयते।
यया जगत् सर्वमिदं प्रसूयते
सन्नाप्यसन्नाप्युभयात्मिकानो
सन्नाप्यसन्नाप्युभयात्मिकानो
भिन्नाप्यभिन्नाप्युभयात्मिकानो
भिन्नाप्यभिन्नाप्युभयात्मिकानो
साङ्गाप्यनङ्गाह्युभयात्मिकानो
साङ्गाप्यनङ्गाह्युभयात्मिकानो
महाद्भुता निर्वचनीयरूपा
महाद्भुता निर्वचनीयरूपा
अव्यक्तमेतत् त्रिगुणैर्निरुक्तम्
अव्यक्तमेतत्त्रिगुणैर्निरुक्तम्
तत्कारणं नाम शरीरमात्मनः
तत्कारणं नाम शरीरमात्मनः
सुषुप्तिरेतस्य विभक्त्यवस्था
सुषुप्तिरेतस्य विभक्त्यवस्था
प्रलीन सर्वेन्द्रियबुद्धिवृत्तिः
प्रलीन सर्वेन्द्रियबुद्धिवृत्तिः
अथ ते सम्प्रवक्ष्यामि
अथ ते सम्प्रवक्ष्यामि
स्वरूपं परमात्मनः
स्वरूपं परमात्मनः
यद्विज्ञाय नरो बन्धात्
यद्विज्ञाय नरो बन्धात्
मुक्तः कैवल्यमश्नुते।
मुक्तः कैवल्यमश्नुते
अस्ति कश्चित् स्वयं नित्यम्
अस्ति कश्चित् स्वयं नित्यम्
aham pratyayalambanaha
अहं प्रत्ययलम्बनः
avasthatrayasakshi san
अवस्थात्रयसाक्षी सन्
panchakoshavilakshanaha
पञ्चकोशविलक्षणः
यो vijanati sakalam
यो विजानाति सकलम्
जाग्रत् स्वप्नसुषुप्तिषु
जाग्रत्स्वप्नसुषुप्तिषु
बुद्धि तद्वृत्तिसद्भावम्
बुद्धितद्वृत्तिसद्भावम्
अभावम् अहमित्ययम्.
अभावम् अहमित्ययम्
Once again, यो विजानाति सकलम्
यो विजानाति सकलम्
जाग्रत् स्वप्नसुषुप्तिषु
जाग्रत्स्वप्नसुषुप्तिषु
बुद्धि तद्वृत्तिसद्भावम्
बुद्धितद्वृत्तिसद्भावम्
अभावम् अहमित्ययम्.
अभावमहमित्ययम् Thank you,
Yeah.
Guruji.
So, starting from two shlokas before, Atate Sampravakshami. So now I am going to teach you. Having talked about Anatma, I am going to tell you about Atma. That's how the teacher here had started and introduced quite a few important ideas already. Swarupam Paramatmanaha. So it is the Swarupam of Paramatma. So hard to translate the word Swarupam. Sometimes I struggle by saying nature of, essence of, etc. So, okay, Swarupam, Paramatmana Swarupam, the real nature of Paramatma. Okay, let's put it that way. And Yad Vijnaya Naro Bandhat Mukta Kaivalyam Ashnute. This is important to know because only by knowing this, a person gains moksha. Okay, becomes a muktaha. Then what? Then in the next shloka he said, Asti Kaschit Swayam Nityam. Okay, Anatma, if you are beginning to grasp, we talked about Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram, all these. Stula Shariram was easy to understand because it's physically available to see, body is there. But Karana Shariram, you have to conceptualize what is Karana Shariram. From subtle, from gross to subtle to even subtler Karana Shariram, which is holding on to all my karma and all we said. So all that he says is anathema. Okay, and now asti kachit swayam nityam. Swayam, it is existing independently. It is self-existent. These words are all Vedanta words, pure Vedanta. Nobody else claims to be talk about self-existence. Okay, so Bhagavan is self-existent. Obviously, Bhagavan can't be dependent on something else for existence. That also people can accept. So here he says Atma Asti Kachit Swayam Nityam also. Not only self-existent, but it is, how to translate Nityam? Eternal, permanent, all within quotes you have to put. Swayam Nityam. And then, so you can say Avinashi, not subject to time. Okay, Nityam. Aham Pratyaya Lambanaha. Hey, Aham Pratyaya Vishayaha. Hey, it is what you really mean when you say I. You don't know, but that's what you mean. You have to inquire into who am I. That who am I question, why it should come? Because you have to ask the question. Who is doing all these things? What for am I doing all these things? What am I going to get by doing all these things? Am I really related or unrelated? These questions, if they start arising, then that is that aham pratyaya lambanaha. Until then, I am what? I am father, mother, brother, sister, etc. I'm playing all these roles. But role is, I am the role, or I'm not the role. Role is I, but I am not the role. That idea should come. Aham pratyaya lambanaha. All right. Avasthatraya sakshi, son. So I am the witness to everything that happens in my life. I have a big biography. How did you know this is your biography? Yeah, I am the knower of my biography. From the date of birth onwards, I know everything, or I can figure out everything. And I have written a autobiography. It's called auto. Biography means writing about somebody else. I am a witness to that also. I am a witness to somebody else's biography also. I am a witness to my biography also. Autobiography. So Avastatraya Sakshi. Avastatraya means what? All three states of experience, which means my entire life. All right. Panchakosha Vilakshanaha. Okay, another way of saying Avastatraya Sakshi. We discussed all that before. Now we're entering this sloka, continuing the description of Atma. He is saying Yaha Vijanati Sakalam. Now he's talking about this verb. The key verb here is what? Vijanati. Vijanati. Underline that word. That is the key in this sloka. Vijanati. That action word. Because we need to hold on to the action. Without an action, it's very difficult to write a sentence also. To write a sentence is not possible. Try to write a sentence without a verb. I am. Suppose you say I am. Hey, am is a verb, by the way. Asti. Aham asmi. Aham asmi. As is a verb. So, therefore, here he says, Yaha Vijanati, the one who knows. That is the whole sentence now is going to talk about what one knows, etc. is being talked about. Okay. The one who knows. So he's highlighting Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Sat, Chit, Ananda. These are the typical descriptors for Atma. Correct? So that Chit aspect is being highlighted here. Satyam, Jnanam. Jnanam, Chaitanyam. Both awareness, knowledge. Aware. This awareness, if somebody says, then Atma has to come into the picture. Why? Because I am aware of the universe. The universe is not aware of me. The universe is waiting for somebody to be aware of and do some research. Find out, look at all the beauties. The flowers are all showing itself every morning, blossoming. Somebody should appreciate me. That appreciator, Atma. Atma is the one that creates the source of that appreciation, that awareness, which we have taken for granted all these decades and years, right? And so, Yaha Vijanat, the one who knows. Okay, Buddhi Vritti Sadbhavam. Bhavam means presence of, existence of. How do I know? What is that one knows? Yaha Buddhi Vritti Sadbhavam. Bhavam, existence. Sadbhavam, existence of, presence of. Presence of what? Buddhi Vritti Sadbhavam. Buddhi Vritti, you understand this very well. Okay. Aware of everything also around, all over, outside. The entire world that is in front of us is available to be observed, to be known. Okay. That world is there anyway. And then he's slightly talking about Buddhi Vritti. He's come all the way inside the mind also. Because he says, you observe everything all right, but don't exclude your body. And then body also, you're an observer of. Already I told you, Stula Shariram is the body, and that is Anatma. So I am the observer of the Anatma. Atma is what? Observer of the Anatma. Sthula Shariram. What about Sukshma Shariram? Yeah, of course you are the observer of the Sukshma Shariram. What is the best way to know it? Yeah, I can see. Blood circulation is part of what? Is Sukshmam or Sthulam? Sukshma Shariram. That activity is Sukshma Shariram. Blood is not Sukshma Shariram. That circulation energy, that which makes the blood circulate, that which makes the heart pump is Sukshma Shariram. I can perceive it. Okay. This heart, they check the heartbeat like this. Because you see, how do you know blood is circulating in the body? My goodness, it's amazing. Blood is supposed to go from the heart all the way to the tip of the toes and then to the top and then going back and forth like this. I mean, I can't visualize it. I think left ventricle, right ventricle, and all is there. This goes like this and then comes back like this here. Then again, it goes like that. So it's a massive process, but you know what? You can't feel any of it. I used to wonder, what is this? And I think finally they say, okay, I can figure out only by looking at, carefully looking at. Even sometimes, if you hold our hand, you can't even feel the heartbeat, pulse. And so you have to carefully look at it and then say, okay, there is a beat. I can feel the beat. So I am the observer of all these things. And he's saying, let's go one step inside to the mind. Buddhi vritti. Don't take yourself as the mind. Mind also. Mind is so central to everything. All feelings are all there, all emotions, everything. My whole life is centered on my mind. I'm looking for doing good. I'm looking for appreciation. I'm looking for satisfaction. I'm looking for fulfillment. Whenever I'm disappointed, I'm upset, I'm sad, frustrated, all these things are there. I want to avoid frustration, I want to avoid disappointment, I want to avoid sadness, I want to avoid trauma. So many things I want to avoid, and I want to get so many things. Such a life is centered on this feeling in the mind, some sense of satisfaction, accomplishment. I feel I have accomplished something. That is a good feeling to have. Then I can relax. Buddhi vritti, sadbhavam, all that accomplishment, let it be. That feeling also, let it be. But you are not the feeling, you are the observer of the feeling. Saha vijanati. Buddhi vritti sadbhavam vijanati. That's what you put the verb next to it. Yaha buddhi vritti sadbhavam vijanati. One who knows all the things that are going on in the mind. I'm the witness. If I say I am confused, then I am confused means, okay, I know that there is a confusion vritti in my mind. I can see the confusion. Therefore, I can tell it out to people. I am confused. So, see, Swamiji reminds us. He says, look, Anatma cannot say Aham Vijanati. Body cannot say I know. No object in the universe can say I know. Because Anatma is Jadam, is not conscious. So how can a non-conscious entity say I know, I see, I do? No such possibility. Okay. And and okay, Anatma cannot say Aham Vijanami. Okay. What about Atma? Can Atma say I know? Hey, Atma also. Atma also cannot say I know. Because Atma need not say I know, Atma cannot say also I know. Because Atma is Nirgunam. No attributes. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma, you say Satchidananda. And Atma is qualityless. What did we say? It is neither a part or a product or uh, what do you call it? Part, property, or product of the body. It is the independent entity that enlivens the body. It exists whether or not the body exists, etc. We said. And Atma is all pervasive also. And why should Atma say I know? Atma cannot say I know. It doesn't have anything that says I know. But Shastra will say Atma knows. So look at this. Atma is there, it can't say I know. Because to say I know, you need a lot of other things. You need something called the mind and the body and senses, everything is needed. That whole setup is needed. That whole setup only can say with Atma backing that setup, the Ahankara, the mind is saying, I know, I observe, I see things. So Swamiji reminds us, is Atma and Atma mixture, Swami Paramarthananda says. Like the bulb is making this room bright, that bulb on top, making it bright. But bulb is jadam, bulb is inert, it can't make anything bright. You need a powering entity. You need a powering entity called electricity that has to just pervade the whole bulb and do some magic. And that combination of electricity and that device brightens the whole room. Bulb by itself cannot brighten. Electricity by itself cannot do anything. It can give a shock, that's all. Okay, but it can't do anything. And so there is some holy combination of these two things have to happen. This is not a best example. Be careful. Why it is not a best example? It's not a best example because I think you know why. Because electricity can be there without the bulb. Bulb can be there without electricity. Okay? But Atma and Atma are not like that. Correct? Atma cannot survive without, Anatma cannot survive without Atma. That much we understand. So, Atma and Atma relationship is like the pot clay relationship. Please remember that. So, when we give examples, be careful. Don't stretch it too much. Here we are saying it for that electrification aspect. Atma just electrifies the body and the mind. And the mind suddenly becomes, it has a function, and then it is just too, it is the greatest instrument that even human being cannot manufacture in a lab. They try hard, can't manufacture. Even if you manufacture something, you know what you have to say? I manufactured it. I patent. I am going to put the patent, not that mind. I patented it. I get a Nobel Prize for it. Okay. That's an artificial mind. Like that, some name we'll have to give. All right. Anyway, so therefore, the Atma also contributes to this knowership. Anatma also contributes to this knowership, to this knowledge. Okay. They're not separate things. Don't think they're separate. Atma sustains Anatma also, but two things are there. Anatma was talked about, Atma is being talked about, and that mixture in the form of the mind, Yaha Vijanati, one who knows. Mind is Sukshma Shariram, it is part of Anatma. Okay, but the mind by itself can't know, it can't exist also. And so that combination knows. Okay. I can say maximum, you can say what? But does the body know? No, body is very hard to say. Body can't know anything. Knowing knowership is only attributed to the Atma, to the mind. Eyes see, but the eyes don't know that the eyes see. Okay, ears hear, but the eyes don't know that the ears don't know that the ears hear. Now, jadam, functions are happening. Same with the mind also. Same thing with the mind. And so, this guy, Rene Descartes, Rene Descartes, was sitting. This is Puja Swamiji's long ago. I heard him. It's still there in my mind. And these French people, they have a lot of coffee. They love this black coffee and big pots of coffee. A lot of people love coffee, but I think French are even more. And so he came to the restaurant, and Rene Descartes is known for the statement, "I think, therefore I am." I think, therefore I am. Okay, I think, therefore I am. Please think about it. Okay, the sentence. I think, therefore I am. And so the lady came and said, "Sir, would you like to have some coffee? Would you like to have some coffee?" Then he said, a surprising answer he gave. "I don't think so. I want something else. I don't think so." "I don't think so," he said. Immediately, Rene Descartes disappeared from there. You know why? Because I think, therefore I am. Correct? I think, therefore I am. If I don't think, I am not there. So he disappeared. So, just to prove the point that A, whether you think or don't think, whether you are awake in class or not awake in class, you are there. Okay, no problem. That is why fortunately we can sleep in class also. No problem. You won't disappear. That's why fortunately we can comfortably sleep. So it's not I think therefore I am. I am therefore I can think, or I don't have to think also. So यः विजानाति जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्तिषु. So therefore, that how does this combination occur? Just if Atma doesn't think and Anatma also cannot think, then what is this thinking? Yeah, just by its mere presence, like electricity is mere presence. Presence is all that is needed, and then there is an entity called mind and body that starts throbbing and starts doing their functions. And so mind has the capacity to do several things like thinking and knowing. Yah vijanati. It has its capacity is to know, and so it is able to know. Okay. So, but in the Shastram, he says Yah vijanati. The shloka is saying Atma vijanati. That's how you will find in the Shastra. I am Atma word is not here written, but you have to bring it from top. So far, Atma word I don't see anywhere. Okay. Avstatre Sakshishan Kaschit Swayam Nityam. He has not used the word Atma yet. Okay. He is answering Paramatmana. That is the only place where the word Atma is there. Correct. And so Yah Vijanati, Atma Vijanati means Atma is the one that's responsible for what the mind knows, what the buddhi can know. Buddhi, vritti, sadbhavam. Everything in the buddhi, everything that happens in the buddhi, from the waking state. Okay, there he says, Jagrat, Swapna, Susupti, Shu. Shu. So those who are not Sanskritized yet, okay, I'm trying my best to introduce Sanskrit periodically without making this into a Sanskrit class. Okay, somebody told me, gave me some feedback a few days ago. They said they loved it. It seems, and they're beginning to they signed up for a Sanskrit class. So I said, okay, that's good. Because otherwise, if it becomes a Sanskrit class, then that's it. Half the people will quit, and some Vedanta must be there. So for those who don't know Sanskrit, shu. That shu means in, inside, on, like that. The in, on, and all in English is represented by this. In plural, it is called shu. Whenever shu comes, it means you know it means that in. So in what? In Jagrat, Swapna, Shushuptisu, Avasthayam, Avastasu. So in the three states that we described when we explained Sukshma Shariram, that three states, in all the three states, whatever happens in the mind, Yaha Vijanati, the one who knows, okay, one who knows. So one who knows means what? Atma being a passive contributor to this knowing process, and mind is the active. Atma is passive. I have made Atma passive now, even though it is there, but it doesn't need to do anything. It just provides that awareness, that consciousness. It provides that existence. The shloka not talking about existence. It is talking about consciousness, awareness. Satyam Jnanam is talking about, but existence also provided by Atma only, and then that knowing aspect, Jnana Shakti, okay, is being provided by Atma. And so Atma being the passive contributor, and mind being the active contributor. Without the mind, Atma can't know. Without Atma, also mind can't. Okay, and so combination, that beautiful combination, just like moonlight is there, cool, beautiful, full moon day. If you say full moon day, the night is bright actually. But guess what? The beauty and full moon and all this great thing that you're talking about, coolness and all you're talking about, it doesn't. The moon by itself can't provide that. The sun's light is reflected on it, so that combination is what provides you that experience. Jagrat, swapna, sushuptishu. So therefore, even though not explicitly stated, we must know that Shastra will always say Brahma Janati, Atma Janati, like that, Vijanati, and all words will come. But don't take it literally. Atma Vijanati, not possible. You, because knowership is an act, okay? Knowing is an act, and then you are attributing knowership to Atma, and that is not possible at all. Atma cannot be a knower. Aham karta. Jiva is a karta. Jiva, I only claim I know, I do, I act, I suffer, everything I say. And so Atma need not say it, cannot say it also. That we have to keep in mind. Okay. So, and that previously it was said, Sakshi word was mentioned. Avastatre Shakshishan. So I am the knower by providing that capacity. Only Atma can provide that capacity. Yeah, Sakalam Vijanat. Okay, there is a word Sakalam here also. Yeah, Sakalam. Sakalam Vijanat. Everything. Whatever is there to know, I know. Or I am capable of knowing. Means I am observing. Here knowing means I am aware of. Details I don't have to. I see the tree, but I don't know how a tree has to grow up, what is there in the leaf, how does the flower come and fruit come. All this I don't have to. Just I'm aware. That awareness is being talked about. And of course, I can know. I will know. But I know some things. I can continue to know stuff. And so, Vijanati, I'm aware of, and I can know. And I know also. Like that. Sakalam, Sakalam, Sakalam. Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami says, Sakalam means Jagrat Bhavan. Jagrat Bhavan. It's all the things that are happening, all the existence, Bhavaha, all that is there in the waking state that is there for me to experience. Jagrat Bhavan, Swapna Padarthan, okay, Swapna Padarthan. It's all the things that are dreamt of. Whatever I say, I dreamt. How do you know you dreamt? I saw a dream world. I saw so many things happen. You were there in my dream. Oh, I was there in your dream. When you didn't invite me at all. I don't remember going into your dream. No, it's okay. Without your permission, you came into my dream. I got you. So dream, Swapna Padarthan, and Swapna Padarthan. Hey, did the people in the dream world did they have eyes and ears and all in your dream? What are you talking? Did you dream last night? Yes. Were there people? Yeah, a lot of people were there. My relatives, you were also there. Everything was there. Was there people? They were talking to each other and all? Yeah, they were talking. What about those eyes and ears and the body and mind and all that? Sukshma Shariram was there? Did they have Sukshma Shariram? Yeah, they were alive. They have Sukshma Shariram. Of course, they were full people. Not half people. They're not ghosts. They're real people I dreamt of. We all went to a picnic also. Ah, you all went. So everybody had Sukshma Shariram there. Surya Shariram also was there. Everything was there. They were all solid. Exact copies they were. Okay. Then what about that Sukshma Shariram compared to this Sukshma Shariram that is there in this body? Yeah. If there is, it is similar, but not similar. It is similar because both that eye, the dream eye also is seeing the tree. The real eye here also is seeing the tree. That way the function is same. But these eyes are all Ishvara Srishti. Ishvara Srishti. The eyes in the dream people are all Jiva Srishti. Created by the Jiva. So somebody says, it's a trick question. You can fool somebody with this question. Can you create eyes and ears? You can ask somebody a question, trick question. Just ask like that. See what happens. Have a nice conversation with your children or grandchildren. How you can create eyes and ears? This is all God given. This is all just like that it happened. If you don't use the word God, then you have to say just like that it comes. Not part of nature. No. Then you just engage them in a conversation. Then who created the eyes and ears in your dream people? Like that you can have conversation. So Jagrat Swapna Sushuptishu Balyadishvapi Jagradadishu Tatha Sarvasvavasthasvapi. So in that Samarohanam program, somebody Prasadji explained some of the Dakshinamurti Stotram shlokas in Sanskrit. So Dakshinamurti Stotram. Balyadishvapi Jagradadishu Tatha. Like that he says. He's explaining Atma, in Dakshinamurti Stotram. And Balyadishu. Again, shu. That word shu is coming. So Balyadishu. Shu means in. In what? Balyadi. Balyadi means what? In all the states of the life of a human being. Like Balyavastha, childhood, then Yavvanam, youth, and then etc. Middle age, and then senior age, etc. Balyadishu. Jagradadishu. Okay, if you want me to tell it differently, Jagradadishu. Jagrat, Swapna, Avasthasu. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Avasthasu. Like that you have to say. So that same thing here also. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Shu, he's saying here. And we saw it in Kaivalya also. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushuptyadi. Prapancham yah prakashate. Kaivalya, 17 or 18 it is there. Just we are studying. Jagrat Swapna Sushuptyadi Prapancham Yaha Prakashate. There also. Yaha Prakashate. Yaha, that or the one who. Here Yaha Vijanati. There Yaha Prakashate. One who illumines. All this Jagrat Swapna, all this experience, one who illumines. Like that we saw in Kaivalya Upanishad just a few weeks ago. And so Buddhyadi Sadbhavam. Two types of buddhi. Two types. Two types means what? Two types of thoughts, not buddhi. Two types of thoughts. Only two types of thoughts. There is an I thought or there is a non-I thought. Non-I thought means this thought, that thought. That's all. Shastram talks often about this. Aham pratyayaha and then idam pratyayaha. That's it, over. All thoughts can be divided into two. Either it is I means literally I, or not I. Not I. Everything I observe is not I. I see the tree. If I say the tree is not I. I means not the tree. Okay, it is me. This body here, sitting here, this mind here. That is I. Seeing is an experience. Subject mixes with the object and then creates an experience. Okay, so that I is unique. Very unique, because that I applies to only one entity in this universe. So many things are there. The universe is so big. My goodness, can't you use this word for something else? No, this word I refers only to one thing, one and only. Even among the close family members, we are all so close, very united. We are all very united. Oh, united. Even there in that united entity also, when they say, somebody says I, it only refers to that person. I. That's it. It can't refer to anything else. And so that is called the I thought. And then everything else in the language we use, everything else that I'm talking about is this thought, is this. And I refer to this by this thought. The thought happens. The thought corresponding to this object. Any object, even faraway objects like planets and galaxies, is also this only. Not me. Anatma. So that's why Atma and Atma, the student asked the question. And so all that buddhi vritti sadbhavam, illu means I know the I thought also, I know the this thought also. Yaha vijanati, correct? I thought, do I know? This thought I can understand. All objects are all there in my mind. All the emotions are also this, not that, not I. But I take the emotions to be I, correct? I am sad. I don't say I observe a sad mind. I don't say that. Nobody says that. Really, that is the truth. I observe a sad mind. At this moment, my mind is agitated. But there, see, my mind is agitated. So there I am referring to the mind as an object. But then I immediately say, I am agitated. So here, Shankaracharya is saying, that last sloka itself, he said, Vilakshanaha, Vilakshebhyo Vilakshanaha Sachi. He said, here also, that I am aware, Yaha Vijanati, Buddhi Vritti Sadbhavam. And Abhavam, look at that. Sadbhavam, Abhavam api. Abhavam api. Means what? He is referring to which avastha? He is referring to the Sushupti avastha. Sushupti avastha. I am aware of things in the waking state and in the dream state. But what about Sushupti? I wake up after sleep and say, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what happened. Okay, I didn't know what happened. Other day, this lady in our house, she is sleeping, and it was raining cats and dogs for 3-4 hours. Okay, 3-4 hours. You can't miss it. In our place, our ceiling, our roof is covered by like a shed, a metallic sheet, so that you can dry your clothes and all that. And even in rain, it can be there. Like that. So this metallic sheets make a lot of noise when raindrops fall. Even when there is a slight drizzle, you will hear a nice drum. You hear. And when it is raining heavily, you can imagine. It was raining heavily. This lady was just flat. She has a fan. She keeps a table fan with high speed. Okay, and nobody come near. You can scream, you can shout. She can't hear anything. Not possible. I also told her, you know what? You are supposed something happens to me or Appa in the night. We shout. If you don't hear, you are supposed to be an attender. Okay, you are supposed to attend to us. Like that, I was having a conversation. She said, "Oh," and all. She was arguing with me. Okay. Anyway, so abhavam. I was going to get an abhavam. So abhavam for her also abhavam only. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know all this rain, thunder, lightning, and all abhavam. But Sushupti, you wake up and say, I didn't know. I slept well. There was nothing. You know anything. So abhavam vijanati. You should say yaha buddhi buddhi vritti abhavam. You should add yaha buddhi vritti abhavam vijanati. Hey, that same I who knows the entire universe also says, I don't know. I'm observing I'm observing nothingness. I'm still there, but I'm still there. Thoughts are there, I am there. Thoughts are not there, I'm still there. Continue to be there. Abhavam, very important word there. Abhavam also I know. That means what? Thoughts are not a property of Atma. Mind is not a property of Atma. That means Atma is independent of the mind. Therefore, it's refreshing to know, even though I am having all kinds of thoughts in my mind, still I can at least for a few minutes I can tell myself, you know what, I have to put up with all these things, but I'm still free of all these things. Fundamentally, I have some leisure I can get by knowing all these things. Okay, and so and so abhavam also I know. Buddhi abhavam I know. The father was teaching that when I was looking at it last time, I got an example. I made up an example. Father was teaching the daughter. Daughter is in some you know, fourth, fifth grade, and father is teaching the daughter, and some school, whatever. He's tutoring her on some concept, some mathematics, something. And then he's struggling hard to explain addition, subtraction, all that he's explaining. One digit addition and two digit addition. You have to do all the carry over, all that you have to do. Somebody has to explain all this. They're all new. Child is not going to follow all this. And the father is impatient because father is a Nobel Prize, winner. And Nobel Prize in physics. Physics Nobel Prize means you can imagine what all they know. Okay. You can only imagine, that's all. Can't go anywhere near them. But the daughter is there. He's after all a parent, and so after all they have children also, and the daughter is there. The child is not a Nobel Prize winner. Okay, don't think Nobel Prize winner children will be immediately Nobel Prize. No, because this child is struggling, and this child is trying to figure out if 6 plus 5 is 10 or 12. That is her doubt. Okay, and imagine what is the fate of this father. You can imagine now. 6 plus 5 is 10 or 12. And father is just furious, can't handle the situation. உனக்கு புத்தியே இல்ல. You don't have any buddhi at all. Means what? Buddhi abhavam. That abhavam I'm bringing there in this story, okay? Buddhi abhavam. You don't have buddhi. You know what this girl did? She, without blinking her eyelid, she said, you only gave birth to me. How else can it be? Like that she said. And so after that, this father just kept, he can't argue I am Nobel Prize enough because the girl won't understand all that. And so he just kept quiet, because if she can say this girl can say this now at this tender age, imagine what all she can do to me. So he said, kept quiet after that. What a presence of mind that girl should have to say this. This is just manufactured, okay? It's a joke. And so, abhavam. Father also saw abhavam of buddhi. And so that abhavam. So, therefore, that sushupti avastha is important for us, that deep sleep, to prove to us that whatever happens in the mind is not a property of Atma, is not a property of the self. Not an ordinary thing. We keep on talking about it all the time as though it's a new concept. It's not new for us anymore, these states of experience. But Sushupti is the proof for us that all the thoughts are coming and going, and therefore you don't need Sushupti to prove it. But still, that waking state is enough. Thoughts are coming and going, but I am still there. That means what? Thoughts have nothing to do with me. I provide the existence for the thoughts. Thoughts cannot exist without me, but I can exist without the thoughts. That is important, of course. And so I am that. What does it say here? Swayam Nityam, he said earlier. Asti Kaschit Swayam Nityam. And then that Sakalam Vijanati, that Atma is the one who knows everything, including the thoughts, including the subtlest things that go on in my mind. Just even a fleeting thought I am aware of. They say intuition and all. Okay, are you aware of the intuition you had? Yes, I'm aware. Yeah, that also. Very subtle things. Okay. So we'll translate this shloka. Yo vijanati sakalam jagrat swapna sushuptishu buddhi tad vritti sadbhavam abhavam ahamityayam. Aham iti ayam. Aham iti ayam. This ayam means I am Atma, you should put in brackets. I am Atma. Ayam means, see, because yaha is there, Yaha means that which knows. And you have to complete the sentence. That which did all these things is you have to say saha. That means I am aham. That aham is Atma. That aham, that I, which knows all these things, is Atma. Within brackets, you have to say Atma. All right, let's translate this one. This is the Atma because the word I am means this, so this is the Atma. Even though earlier I said there are two kinds of thoughts, I and this, I said there this means anatma, but here in this sentence, this is the Atma who as the I, as the within quotes I, so the Atma word you have to put in parenthesis because that word is not there in the shloka. Atma word, you put it in brackets and then read it later. Okay, this is the Atma who as the I, because I is an important entity in our lives. Okay, as the I knows all, hyphen the presence and absence of the presence and absence of the mind and its thoughts. The mind and its thoughts. Okay, now put another hyphen and say in the waking, dream, and sleep. In the waking, dream, and sleep, states of experience. States of experience, that word also literally is not there. The word avastha is not there in the shloka. You can put that in parenthesis. In the waking, dream, and sleep states of experience. Okay, let's read this again. This is the Atma who, as the I within quotes, knows all, namely the presence and absence of the mind and its thoughts in the waking, dream, and sleep states of experience. Next shloka. Kalyaniji. Yaf pashyati swayam sarvam
यः पश्यति स्वयं सर्वं
yam na pashyati kaschana
यं न पश्यति कश्चन
yaschetayati buddhyadi
यश्चेतयति बुद्ध्यादि
na tadyam
न
yeah,
तथ्यं
na tadyam chetayatyayam
चेतयत्ययं
na tadyam chetayatyayam.
न तद्यं चेतयत्ययम्
Once again, yaf pashyati swayam sarvam
यः पश्यति स्वयं सर्वं
yam na pashyati kaschana
यं न पश्यति कश्चन
yaschetayati buddhyadi
यश्चेतयति बुद्ध्यादि
na tadyam chetayatyayam.
न तद्यं चेतयत्ययम्
Yeah. So here there are verbs are there. Many verbs are there. Pashyati is one verb. Yeah, pashyati means one who sees. Then pashyati appears again in the same first line. The second line, chetayati, is a verb, and the chetayati appears again in the same second half. Okay, pashyati, chetayati. Yaha pashyati. And then this yaha is there, yam is there. Again, the second line, yaha chetayati is there, yaha is there. And then yam chetayati, yam is there. So yaha yam, yaha yam. So you can understand the one who da 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 is Atma. Like that it should come later on. That I am, the last word I am is that that is Atma. In brackets you have to put Atma, like last sloka. Atma is what you call Anuvritti. Anuvritti means that word keeps dropping down like that from top. Until some point it will keep on coming. Because that is a topic. So Yaha Swayam Sarvam Pashyati. That is the Anvaya. Yaha Swayam Sarvam Pashyati. Yaha Pashyati. One who sees. One who sees. Sees what? Sarvam Pashyati. Sarvam. Everything. Everything that is there to see. Sarvam Pashyati. Means the entire universe. Sarvam Jagat Pashyati. Okay. And important word here. Swayam. Swayam Pashyati. Swayam. Means what? Means its nature is to see. You cannot stop Atma from seeing. That is the idea. Pashyati. Pashyati means not literal seeing. Eyes see, of course. Pashyati means the one who makes the eyes see. Atma is of that nature. Swayam. Swayam. By itself. Eyes depend on the Atma. Ears depend on the Atma. Mind depends on the Atma. But Atma depends on nothing. Swayam. That's why we have Swayambhu. We have a word called Swayambhu. In Sanskrit, in our Shiva is called Swayambhu. You know why he's called Swayambhu? Swayam Bhavati iti Swayambhu. Exists by itself. That which exists by itself is called Swayambhu. All Vedanta. Pakka Vedanta. Once you understand Vedanta, it's just, whole world is just too fantastic. The culture itself is very good. Swayambhu. That's why they say when they find a linga, Shiva linga somewhere, just like that they call he Swayambhu. They will say. You know that, right? This is Swayambhu. Means nobody constructed that linga. Stapati was not involved. It was there. Just when we dug a hole, we found the linga. That's it. Swayambhu. They call him Swayambhu. That's it. Over. Swayambhu, Swayam Bhavati, existing by itself. Like that, they use that word. So, Swayam. Yaha. Swayam Pashyati. Without anybody's help. Atma is the only thing that doesn't need help to exist, to be aware of. Why? Because that is the nature of Atma. Awareness is the nature of Atma. Yamna pashyati kaschana. Yam. So who is going to? God, this Atma consciousness is seeing everything. Then who is going to see consciousness? Scientists are looking for consciousness, right? If I'm not mistaken. They have not found it or what, I don't know. But don't have a theory yet for consciousness. They've put it in the back burner, I think. Because they're looking for consciousness. Yamna pashyati kaschana. Shankara is saying, listen to Shankara, scientists. You can't look for consciousness. You are welcome to look for it, but you won't find it. Why? Because you are consciousness. You can't find it. The nature of the finder is consciousness. Listen to Shankara. Yo, scientists, come on. Yamna pashyati kaschana. So yaha pashyati, yamna pashyati. One who sees. So Atma enlivens the Karana Shariram, then the Karana Shariram enlivens the Sukshma Shariram, then the Sukshma Shariram enlivens this Sthula Shariram body, and suddenly the whole parts of the body are all endowed with all these functions, and now this person is just unstoppable. It can do so many things. The mind is also there, newer and newer things are created. and the person is like a bullet, just going. Yam pashyati. Through all these things, the darshana kriya is happening. Okay. Atma makes it all possible. So, Shastram here says, yaha pashyati, one who sees. Okay. Of course, sees means if you literally take it as seeing, then you have to combine everything. In combination with the Sukshma Shariram, the Atma sees. Otherwise, Atma provides a capacity to see. Or you can take the word Pashyati as aware, one who is aware. Awareness, Pashyati, one who is aware of. Okay. And then Yam Atmanam. Yam na Pashyati Kaschana. Kaschana. Kaschana is same as the word we saw earlier, right? Asti Kaschit. Swayam Nityam we saw. Okay, 2 shlokas ago. Asti Kaschit Swayam Nityam. Something is there. So here somebody, Kaschana means somebody. Yam na pashyati. Yam means what? Yam atmanam na pashyati kaschana. That Atma which sees everything, sarvam pashyati, but the Atma itself which cannot be seen by anybody, cannot be seen by anybody. Yam na pashyati. Okay. Beautiful mantra from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Why? Kenopanishad is there. Na tatra chakshur gacchati na va gacchati. I'll give you the number if you want. Write this down. Kenopanishad 1.3. Right there within the 3 shlokas it comes. Student is asking the question, Kene shitam patati preshitam manaha. I'm purposely repeating it so you can keep hearing it. Kene shitam patati. Hey, what is it that makes the mind work? That's what he's asking. Okay. He's not asking a psychology question. What are the science behind the mind's work? Not that kind of question. What is it, the fundamental entity? He said, Kau Devo Yunakti. Tell me about that sentient entity. That is, he already knows mind is anatma, student. So, Kene Shitam Patati. Then the teacher says, second, he says something. The next he says, Natatra Chakshur Gachati Nava Gachati. A. You the Tatra Chakshur Gachati. Literal meaning, the eye cannot go towards Atma. That is a literal meaning. Means what? The eyes cannot see the Atma. Navag Gachati. Navag Gachati. Even words, you try to explain it, you can't explain Atma. So Atma is not available for any explanation also. That is why we are having so many classes. That's why teaching Atma is just the most difficult thing. It doesn't matter. The person may be big scientist, this, that, Nobel, Gibel, and all. That thing will work in this. Now you can understand why. That is why Yama also, Naisha Tarkena Matirapaneya. This brain, intelligent brain, and all will not be useful at all. Why? Because Natatra Chakshur Gachati Nava Gachati. There the words also cannot. Taittiriya Upanishad. Yato Vacho Nivartante. These words, you guys have to remember it. Yato vacho nivartante means what? That from which words just return back, it seems. Empty handed. Words are supposed to create something, right? Words are the means of communication. When somebody utters a word, look, there's a peacock. Hey, look, there is a peacock. 5 words are uttered. Now suddenly you are imagining it. There is a peacock there, I'm seeing. Okay. Words have communicated something. Okay, but here, no. Yato vacho nivartante. That from which the words will just boomerang, backfire. Like some people are saying, America's tariffs are backfiring on America. Like that, some people are talking about. Like that, Upanishad is saying about Atma. You try to explain Atma, the words will just backfire. Backfire. So same thing here also. Yamna pashyati kaschana. Okay. So many things are there. Katopanishad, Yama had said, I'll give you the number. Okay, we can ask Ramo to print it. 3.2.12. 3 to 12. We studied this in Katopanishad. You know what it says? Naiva vacha na manasa praptum shakyaha. Naiva vachana manasa praptum shakyaha. Shakyaha, possible. Na shakyaha, not possible. Praptum shakya, not possible to get at it. Get at this Atma. By what? Naiva vacha, not by words. Na manasa, or not by mind, the great mind that I have. That also is not going to work out. Atma. Why? Because the thinker, the essence, the swarupam of the thinker is Atma. Atma is the best. The hiding, just Atma is hidden. That's it. Kudaha. That's why Ascharyavat Pasyati Kaschidenam. Krishna had said in the Bhagavad Gita. Ascharyavat, it's all a wonder. Whole thing is a wonder. So here also, Kaschana Pashyati. And so the scientist is going to come and say, wait. No, you can't get away with this. You can't. What is the proof that Atma exists? Please tell me. I need proof. Simply you say, Yato Vacho, Yato Vacho, Nevartante and all, I won't accept. On top of that, I came here to, I signed up for this course to study about Atma, right? You asked me what is Vedanta. You asked all these questions. And what do you think of Advaita Vedanta? And I wrote a big essay saying I studied Ramakrishna Mission, this and that book, and Swami Sarvapriyananda, everything I wrote. And now you are coming and telling me Atma naiva pasyati kaschana navijanati. You can't know Atma. It's anticlimactic. I've come to know about Atma only, and you're telling me you can't know Atma. What is this? This is a joke or what? Scientists will also say that. No, you have to show me proof for Atma. Okay. And Swamiji gives an example, Paramarthananda. You know what he says? Hey, suppose I show you a photograph. Suppose I show you a photograph. Did the camera exist when the photograph was taken? Yeah, camera must be there. Without camera, how you can take a picture? Where is the camera? Show me the camera. Tell me. Show me. In the picture, where is the camera? Tell me. Take a picture of the camera and show me. No, camera cannot take its own picture. Not possible. Yeah, that is what it is. That's what it is. You can't take a picture of the camera that you have. Another camera you can use. Same way, you can't. The proof of the existence of Atma is the fact that you're asking me this question. Is the fact that you exist, I exist, and we are talking about Atma. That itself is a proof. Okay. So it's going to be tough. A pure scientist is going to find this difficult. Really. That is why our kalacharam, our tradition is so important. We have to be rooted to our kalacharam, at least for this. The Ishvara Buddhi has to be there. Then only we can get it. Even though it looks very simple. For us, it looks simple. Simple means at least Atma is there. Yeah, I can understand. Atma is the subject which cannot be perceived. I can understand. It's not difficult to understand. But a person who is constantly looking for proof and evidence, Yama already said, Naisha Tarkena Matirapaneya. That kind of mind will not work because it's an object oriented mind which is going away from the subject. Somebody should develop subject oriented programming. I want to tell Mohan Sai and all these people, Microsoft, this object oriented programming is too old. You have to move to subject oriented programming. Maybe it is there, I don't know. I just came up with something. Subject oriented. Anyway, yes, Chetayati Buddhyadi. We'll continue this discussion. Yaha Chetayati Buddhyadi, Natadyam Chetayati Ayam. It's very simple. We will discuss. We won't rush through this. We'll come back in the next class and do it. Oh. आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ